Assuming I haven't scared you off with the previous videos, let's quickly talk about the consulting life cycle and what securing and fulfilling work looks like. And to make it simple, let's use a gardening analogy. It all starts with marketing. Marketing is about planting the seeds of your future work. And just like regular seeds, you don't know what's going to work. You don't know what will turn into work or where or when. So you scatter as many seeds as you can far and wide. I've gotten work from conference presentations, conference pre-cons, referrals from friends, even answering questions on Reddit. You just never know. But just because you want to be somewhat liberal or prolific with your seeds does not mean that all soil is created equal. Cold outreach is like tossing seeds into a rocky desert. If people cold email me, I will report the mail as spam and block the email. If people cold call me, I will hang up as rudely as possible. If I don't know you and I didn't initiate this conversation, I'm not interested in buying whatever you have to sell me. Maybe 1 in 1,000 cold calls does turn into a sale. Even a blind squirrel can find nuts occasionally. But cold calling 1,000 people is no way to run a business. Meanwhile, personal referrals are like rich, fertilized, potted soil. If you only have the time to plant 10 seeds, where would you rather plant them? But it's not all or nothing. There is a spectrum of trust and social proof going on here. Higher trust leads often require more work beforehand preparing that soil, but they are worth it. Once you've planted that seed and it starts to poke its little head through the soil, that's sales. Sales are the very few first days with that seedling. It may not grow. It may not survive. It's fragile. It may not be something that you want to grow. I have a lot of poison ivy here in Pennsylvania. For example, I no longer accept projects that require more than 10 hours per week because I want to focus on my courses. And that's an important point. It doesn't matter how enticing that fruit is if you live in the wrong climate. When I was a kid, we would get these seed catalogs, and I would be so obsessed with these grafted fruit trees that have like 5 different types of fruit on them. And I'd love to have an orange tree in my backyard, but we get awful blizzards here in Pennsylvania. A key part of marketing and sales is avoiding attracting and doing the wrong work. Market positioning means making sure that you are in the right climate for what you want. Qualifying leads means making sure that that seed can grow in your garden and in your soil. And the most important part of sales is that first introduction. Both parties are trying to see if they're a good fit for each other. It's like interviewing for a job, or it's like any other type of relationship. Better to find out now that you're not a good fit than 60 hours deep and with everyone angry. If you have 6 to 12 months of savings, then you can afford to turn down bad work. If you don't, then you'll be desperate. And like me, you'll pick up whatever comes your way. Then there's the scoping. You have to estimate the size of the project, usually in a number of hours. Some projects are an hour of QA. Some are 100 hours of lift and shift for Excel reports. Those bigger projects may need additional supports and planning or even a dedicated project manager, in the same way that tomato plants need trellises to grow. Or if you attract the wrong type of seeds, it may be like those morning glory flowers that will strangle other plants nearby if not properly fenced off. Along with scoping is pricing. Pricing is not just a matter of your hourly rate. You have to consider, what are the payment terms? Normally, a customer has 30 days from invoicing to pay. How often can you invoice them? Is it weekly billing, monthly, milestone billing? Are you bidding a flat rate for the project instead of per hour? Finally, once you are both on the same page, you have to negotiate the service contract and sign it. This is critically important. If a customer refuses to pay you, the very first thing a judge will ask is, well, what does the contract say? Finally, fulfillment, the delivery of the work, is the ripening of the fruit. Here, it can still fail. I've had plenty of tomato plants that have been eaten by bugs. We used to have to put up big fences where I live because the deer would come and just tear up everything. Even the most well-tended fruit can spoil. So what's involved with fulfillment? Well, the very first thing, something that you do as part of scoping, is requirements gathering. What do you actually need for this report? Then there's the delivery, the actual implementation. During both parts, you want to avoid scope creep. It's very common for you to work on the report and the customer says, oh, well, we really only asked you to do an Excel migration, but we'd love to have some rich tooltips and drill throughs now that we think about it. And you have to decide, okay, is this in scope? Is this going to be a change order? Is this something that we make into a phase 2 project? You have to be a little project manager. Then, near the end, is user acceptance testing. Someone needs to be able to make sure the report is meeting the needs of its users. You're not going to just deliver a final product like you would on one of those British baking shows and then hope that it tastes good. No, you're going to involve the customer throughout the process to make sure you're on the right track. And then finally, there's some sort of final sign off. Usually this is tied with whatever final payment there is, saying, yes, you've met our needs and expectations. And if done properly, that final sign off is not the end. You can ask for testimonials, referrals, or follow up work. The best work is seed bearing fruit. The best work ripens into a fruit that produces seeds for the next year of work. And so this is the consulting life cycle. You are a little gardener trying to feed you and your family. If you've enjoyed this first module and you want to check out more, go to training.sqlgene.com. And if this video came out within the last 24 to 48 hours, go there now to see if you still have access to the 24-hour launch pricing that's coming out just for the first day that the course is out. Thanks.